Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a very special message for you before I get into the read. I was out running. I got back from my run at 3:44 on the East Coast. And as I was running, I started getting, I wanna run to you. Okay, so that was coming up. And then the only two houses I noticed on my run, because it's my usual run, happened to be number 49 and number 30, which have come up about the 30 pieces of silver and the 49 of the gold rush. And as I was running after I heard the song, before I saw the 49 of the house, I started getting silver and gold. And I'm like, what is it about the silver and gold? And I was literally getting, when silver meets gold, when the pedal meets the metal, when 3 meets 4, when the third baton is passed on to the fourth, when the emperor or the empress meets the emperor, which equals 7 chariots of fire, when people from different countries, backgrounds, religions, and races come together as one, side by side, not seeing color, but all heart, 2 thumps of the heart, 2 to 1 or 21, the world, drums, drum roll please, pa-ra-pa-pa-pum, bum, bum. The Olympics in Tokyo 2020 are going to occur from July 24th, 2020 to, I believe it was August 9th, 2020. And as I was getting the message of silver and gold, which by the way, the 30 plus the 49 equaled 79, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the message they were giving me was that all twins would be in union by this time. And they're starting now. It was basically now through this time. I was getting that all the twins would be in union by this time. So I'll pull a card for you on that as well. But then I looked up the Olympics, the next Olympics, which is in Tokyo. And literally Tokyo is the T, for me is the toggle up. So it's literally toggling up. Okay, yo. And then I was getting moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. So I was getting that as well. And when I looked up Tokyo and then the drums, because I wanted to see why the drums came up from the little drummer boy for Tokyo and the Olympics, I just looked up Japanese drums, and so what came up is T-A-I-K-O, which is a common word for Japanese drums, which literally can be pronounced the same way as Tokyo. I also saw Kodo, K-O-D-O, which literally means, it was right under the Tokyo or Taiko, however the drums are pronounced. The Kodo was right underneath that and literally means heartbeat. And I wasn't looking up heartbeat, and you know I just said it. And it also means children of the drum. It's the primal source of all rhythm, or primordial source of all rhythm. It's also a drum group, but it was just very cool that the way it came up, because the drum was just like Tokyo's Taiko, or you could pronounce it like Tokyo. But then the Kodo was right there also, which meant the heartbeat, and the children of the drum, which all relates to the twins. And then a specific drum also came up, and it was just listed TH century, so I wasn't sure what it was, and I still don't know what it was supposed to be. Maybe it was just a typo or something. But the TH century was coming up as a thin-walled vessel in form of a Japanese drum. The lid has a large ring handle, and there's a scene of a wide band of intricate sky and clouds. So again, that was coming up, tying into moving up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Okay, and the TH for me comes up as one of my codes, literally to the nth degree, and this is coming up as the I'm not sure what Olympics it is, I can't remember. But it's coming up as the confirmation of the how many 20th century, you know, that kind of thing. Whatever Olympics is coming up here. plus the 5 rings of the Olympics. And literally when I showed you the overlapping rings in the sky at one point, it literally reminded me of the 5 rings of the Olympics. And as soon as I finished that, and literally I was running down Dewey Street, but Dewey Lane was coming up. On my journey down Dewey Lane, I was getting to Ivanetta, and I was getting Ivan ET, time of arrival. And then it was going into all the other stuff. So that was a very profound message, but then Drury Lane was coming up. And I'm wondering, why was Drury Lane coming up, which is the Royal Theatre in London, which had different incarnations located in the street since 17th century, even though today the main entrance is on Catherine Street. It's a West End theater and grade 1, but there's also a Drury Lane in Singapore, which was really what was coming up, but Singapore is also connected to Britain since it was under Britain's rule before 1959, and also in World War II comes up because Japan occupied Singapore in World War II from 1942 to 45 in the fall of the British colony on February 15th, 42. So that definitely here again is coming up the ownership of Britain and different colonies, and also relating this to Japan since the Olympics are going to be there, and Japan's occupation of Singapore from World War II. There's another wound there that needs to be cleared. Just a little bit about Singapore, because I'm sure a lot of people get confused about what it is, where it is, because it's its own Republic of Singapore now. It's its own rule. The Drury Lane there the address was 94 TG Pagar Road, Singapore, 088515. Okay, and it's considered an island city-state, Southeast Asia, 1 degree north of the equator, the south tip of the Malay Peninsula, main island, plus 62 others. So basically 63 islands, and 63 is the 9 of swords, right, which is the purging cycles. It's considered 1.444% water, and that was from thecountriesof.com. Some of the other stuff was from wikipedia.com. And it's also 277 square miles from tripsavvy.com. So I just wanted to let you know about that before I went on to the read, but the read itself as well is pretty amazing, so I would stay tuned to hear it all. It was pretty cool, the different directions I was being taken in the read today. And before I fell asleep last night in my meditation, I saw like a skyline of a city, and it was like golden orange, and I was getting Moscow, but I was getting that golden orange city, like the golden city glowing in the distance. And I was also seeing a goddess, with a ball on her head, so I'm not sure which one it is yet. I mean, it certainly could be Isis, but a lot of things came up around this, including the Candace of Ethiopia. And that had come up before, so I think it was very significant. So she was coming up, as well as Isis, the Viking princess, the gold wing headdress of the cat goddess, Bastet. She has the wings and eye of Horus above her head. Hathor, mother of Horus, also came up, Athena, and having to do with the Ethiopians, because they were called Ethiopians, that was coming up here, the woman with the golden cup, and Nemesis was all around the Ethiopians, and they were considered more Indian, or there was a mix of Latin within the culture there. Anyway, Nemesis came up with that, aspects of justice, the triple goddess as well, and the Ethiopians were considered very loyal and lordly. Zeus actually left with Homer's gods for a 12-day feast with them when no one knew where he was. There was something like that. But I don't want to get too much more into that, but it's just something that was coming up in my meditation last night. And then this morning, being the eclipse and all, and being that today was the day I met my twin, more stuff came up and everything, you notice all the stuff that came up about that message for you guys was all about the 3 to 4, the Empress to the Emperor, the 3 to 4, toggling to the 4th leg of the race. And then the Olympics would go from the 3 to the 4 to the 5 of the 5 rings, overlapping each other, right? Hand in hand, where there is no color, there is no race, where there is unity consciousness. Well, there's one place that is, and that's the Olympics, where we all come together and stand as one. And my dragonfly came back to visit me this morning when I went outside. And I was guided to take a couple pictures there, and I want to show you a couple of those first. I did get some pictures of the eclipse where I am, so I obviously don't have it, but it was very significant what I got. So, hope you can see this stuff here. So the eclipse came up. I don't know if you can see the color real well, so we're going electronic to electronic, but there was a bright ring circle around it when I first started these pictures. Is that the first one? Yeah, that's the first one. Okay, so you could really see a ring there, okay? I don't know how clear you can see it, but then as it went, the ring literally like came off of the sun. Check it out. It was so cool. It was like it was literally breaking free. So I wanted to show you that. That was earlier today. It was kind of buried by the clouds, but the clouds were very cool. And then look, this was facing your shadow. There was a bird in the middle of the street facing their shadow. So that was pretty cool as well. And then look at the rainbow that came up with those pictures as well. So that was very cool. Was there anything else? I think that was it for now as far as the pics. The Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for today was done at 9:22 to 23. The 22 being the Fool, and the 23 is the King of Wands. It is July 2nd, 2019. The 2 is the High Priestess, the Higher Self, in the Sirian Starseed deck. So very much about the Chariot and the High Priestess in coming together, and that was very significant in this read and the way it ends today, and the message that I brought to you. The day adds up to 21, which was also significant in that message about the world and the Olympics, of the world coming together, the 2 to 1. And 21 is the world. It is a 3, which is of the Empress. And the Empress, the world, the High Priestess, the Chariot were all very significant here in the read. And those were the numbers just from today. So before I even started the read, I literally got as I started, and the eclipse here for me was at 12:55 p.m. 12 is the Hangman of Wisdom, and 55 is the Ace of Swords, the Truth. Before I started the read, it was 8:28 when I heard, "What God has brought, let no man put us under. What God has brought together, let no man put us under." And then definitely before the read too, some cards had popped out about deception regarding children affecting the love life, to keep an open mind and stay optimistic, okay? So getting right into the read for the masculine at 9:22 to 23, the major arcana being from the Sirian Starseed deck, the Starseed, which is like the Fool, Ascension, which is like the World, Reason, like the Emperor, Higher Self is like the High Priestess, and the Lovers were also present here. Before the read was the Transition card. You see it there. I'm going to use my little finger of Yod here that I got at the the Jewish History Museum that I went to the other day with my twin flame friend. And these cards here that's the Queen of Wands, and that's the transition or death card, the portal. And this is the Three of Cups. And then this is that starseed card, which is like the Fool. Okay? So there were 3 wands, 1 cup, 1 pentacle, and 1 sword. So we had 3, 1, 1, 1. So we had 31 and 11, and just triple ones. 31 being the 5 of Wands, the expansion energy and change. It can be competition too, which comes up with the Olympics. And then the core cards were the King of Wands. That was the only one directly from the read, but the 9 of Pentacles was also there. It's not a court card, but I often see it as a person. Before the read was the Queen of Wands, and then after the read was the King of Cups. So we had the King of Wands, the King of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. The numbers and the coding had everything to do with change. Changing and face the strain, okay? So changes was coming up along with the numbers 11, 33, the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, and it was very much about 1, 2, and 3 and 4, and the message I got for you guys, as well as 79, 47, and that was pretty much it for the numbers today. Very simple, sweet and simple. But the coding around change, and before I give you the coding message, I literally was getting Eddie Murphy saying, "Can you all say the high road?" So think of Eddie Murphy in the box on Saturday Night Live saying that. Can you say the high road? It was pretty funny when I got it. And then I was getting, for some reason, RKO, which is RKO Radio Pictures, but also came from Radio Keith Orpheum, or Orpheum. It's one of the big 5 studios of Hollywood's golden age. So here we have something golden again, right? We have the silver to the gold coin and the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and the city of lights that I saw in my meditation last night. So very much coming up as a theme here. I also got the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Oh, when I looked up I got RKO yesterday too, but I couldn't remember what the initials were. So when I got it today, I looked up RKO just to confirm it was the right acronym. And so some of the list of their movies came up because I wanted to remember which movies was RKO. And the years came up of the most famous ones. The first one was Bring Up Baby, which was 1938, which is the Queen of Cups. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which was 1939, which is the Knight of Cups. The Best Years of Our Lives, 1946, which is the Six of Cups. The Children in the Garden. And then the last one of the famous ones listed at the top were Citizen Kane, which was 1941, which is the Ace of Cups, the new love, the self-love, the spiritual love. And then the company dissolved in 1959 with the last movie being released, The Poacher's Daughter, and that was in 1960, the year before I was born. And 60 is the Ace of Swords, moving to calmer waters or peace. So it dissolved then. So as it came back, it reconstituted in 1978. 78 is the 10 of Pentacles. And I was paralleling these years to when I was in college and when I was married in my first marriage, where there was a lot of abuse going on, which would parallel to my twin. And the names of all these movies were so uncanny as far as the twin flame journey, so I thought that you'd enjoy them. So 1981, the new movies from RKO, 81 was Carbon Copy. Then 82 was The Border, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and Cat People, which definitely came up today with the cat goddess. And so, parallel this to your own journey of your life and your twin. So I'm sure some stuff will come up for you with these titles. They're very cool. So 83 was DC Cab and the Brass Ring. 84, Streets of Fire. 85, Plenty. 86, Half Moon Street. as well as May letter to George. 87 was Campus Man, so college there. Hot Pursuit, Hamburger Hill, The Light Horseman, and finally, the last one, The Dark Age in 87. In the 90s was 90, False ID, 91, It's All True, 92, Laws of Gravity, 96, Milk and Honey, 96, Holiday Affair, 98, Mighty Joe Young, and in 2002, The Magnificent Amber Sons. 2003 was the what does it say? Because I can't remember the name. I don't know if it's the gin game? I just can't read my writing. Shade also came up. Shade, Laura Smiles. These were all in 2003. And then 2007, so was entered, the 2007 one was called Are We Done Yet? Which is pretty funny. 2009 was The Ritual. And then on September 11, 2009 was Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. November 2nd, 2012, a late quartet, and then April 30th, 2015 was Barely Lethal. Okay, so parallel them to, you know, with the 1221 timeline as well. There's some interesting titles there, so let me know in the comments. And it was interesting because that last movie there, that was the last one listed, was April 30th, 2015. I don't know if there was another one after that, but that's all I got. But that happens to be, was 1 year and 1 month before I left my job, which is 11, the 11th hour. Say, take the high road. So the message from my coding here about change was say, take the high road. As present are to change. So to change or are to change. I was getting resting heart rate. The homeroom or the heart rate, right? Your heart space. The resting heart rate as 3 of flames are to and change, or are 3 flames are to change. I was also getting just stay calm as 3 flames change to 2 flames, RKO. I was getting Ra, Ka, Ah, RAKA for energy and soul, and O, Ah, of the human embodiment of source. So Ra, Ka, Ah, RKO. So getting right into the read here, a bomb drops. And as I wrote that this morning, because it was 9:22 when I started this read, when I looked online, of course, the first news header coming up there was the hailstorm in Mexico. But bomb drops, and here on the card of the starseed is like a hailstorm coming together in transition through a portal. The Queen of Wands left behind, 1 flame in right hand, Sagittarius, exposing need to stand up to those who take too much from him, for the masculine. Sorry, this keeps kind of falling backward. So those with a very high excitable energy who are clingy, like out of control excitable children was coming up. That remember, it's about moderation from both directions, not just about angry, mean, bad people, but energies that are too high or too low. All right, so being very depressed and crying all the time is just as bad as being overly excitable, because it's still going to drain you and it's still too far from moderation, the center point, 0 point. As I turned the page, it was 10:53, 10 being the Wheel of Fortune and 53 the Knight of Swords, which is also 53 is the catapult. The Queen of Pentacles, sealed Divine Feminine, with King of Swords protecting her and walking away from the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, Viking Princess, may come up here as she thinks she's the Queen of Sheba. Okay, so here we have about cat goddess again. Above the law. The Queen of Wands coming here as above the law or justice. And she's above the little people, grounding and integrating a final ruling. The Queen of Wands must step down from their high horse. Lucy in the pumpkin patch abusing Charlie Brown again. The Queen of Black Cats and Long Tails, and literally both meanings of tails, okay? The long line of lying lineage, grounding and integrating the judge's final ruling, not hers. I gave you 3 chances to accept an offer. Now you get what I give you. The judge, justice system, and or Libra puts her in her place, toggling up so that T came up with like a soft vowel, the curved, like a halo above the T. So toggling up and divvying out what is fair. The Knight of Wands reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed may be unstable and moving in a family judgment. The 4D rainbow hovers over hard labor. Roles are reversed. Now the other is barking the orders. Now wake-up call is the elitist doing the hard work for the simple, happy family. Announcements of the burden of ending a family illusion and cycle. And so cats were coming up big time here with the cat goddess and the black cat and cat woman, and Bastet was the goddess. So all this cat stuff was coming up, as well as Leo and ego, which is cat as well, and Mars just going into Leo yesterday. Waking up all the shadow people, hard labor for those who refuse to see the rainbow, emotional fulfillment. The players and the jealous, the Don Juans become unstable, falling into dark nights and climbing back up a long, arduous climb to real happiness. Engagement came up as the underlying energy there, and underneath that was healing family issues. So after healing family issues, there may be a step to the next level in a relationship. Catwoman and Batman comes up here then, not exactly the best of friends. And then a header came up from July 12th, 2018, when I looked up Batman to see what was going on. The 78-year courtship this is the message from 2018, so it's now in the 80th year. But this heading was about the 78-year courtship. He with unresolved orphan issues, okay, so abandonment, and not opening his heart, came close to finding love with one individual, or Catwoman. In stunning turn of events, like the eclipse today, Batman recently asked Catwoman to marry him. Okay, and so that was last year, for those of you who keep up with Batman. So here is another timeline that I was guided to give you, very pertinent to our journey, especially since I call the Divine Masculine's heart that 4 of crystals, the Bat Cave. So when Batman recently asked Catwoman to marry him, and 2 planned an ill-fated wedding for this month in the comic, that was the statement back then. Then I got the timeline of Batman here. Batman debuted in 1939, which is the Knight of Cups, very much of the Divine Masculine. In 1977, Catwoman gave up her life of crime in an alternate reality and married Batman in 1955 with a daughter, Helena. But this was an alternate reality. 1983, jealous of Bruce Wayne's romance with Vicky Vale, almost slashes his throat in that one. So much hate. Was it real? As real as the love we know, he says. Okay, so this is not knowing what real love is. 1986, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. 1992, struggles to resist her poison kiss. 1994, another alternate reality, pirate and buccaneer to become the king and queen of the high seas, or high Mar, which I've brought up before. High emotions. 1999, another alternate reality, as Catwoman is a superhero and Batman's the criminal, learns his alter ego is her husband, and then she turns him on. 2002, Batman falls for Catwoman and reveals his secret identity to her. He later suspects his brain was tampered with and ends the relationship. 2009, Batman presumed dead. Catwoman does the eulogy about how they fell in love. In 2010, Batman and Catwoman marry and have a son, Damian. But it's just a story of fan fiction by Alfred and not real. 2012, The Dark Knight Rises. They live happily ever after. 2013, another alternate reality. Superman goes nuts, turned evil, and taken over the world as Catwoman comforts Batman, the friend who comes around. You can't fall apart. I'll hold you together. Okay, so then I turn the page. It's 11:26. 11 is justice, divine justice, and 26 is that page of wands. Very much that little boy that Batman is, right? The masked boy with the burning desire. Now in 2016, it's a game. Sleep with Selena or reject her advances. 2017, Starry Night and leaping across rooftops. And then, then at the end of that of their romance was a cliffhanger where he asks her to marry me. And then she does, she says yes. But then in 2018, number 44, Catwoman steals a $28,000 wedding dress in the middle of the night and opts not to tell her fiancé about the 5-claw discount. And was Superman going to be his best man? Number 50, in a shocking twist, the church bells don't ring. Catwoman blows off the wedding because she realizes wedded bliss would make Bruce Wayne stop being Batman. She didn't really like the real him. 2019, the trailer is called The Last Stand, or it was supposed to be based on something like The Last Stand, and this was because 2019 is the 80th anniversary, and 80 happens to be my destiny number, but it's also about the 8, and the 8 of the dance between the divine masculine and feminine, and 80 being one doing the dance and the other not. It's just the human source embodiment, right? So Batman and Catwoman, they're not standing side by side, 8 and 8. But this comes out, they wanted to do The Last Stand as a final mission of Batman, and the next release for Batman was going to be 7/20, but more recently said June 20th, 2019, and also then said June 15th, 2019, so I suppose it's already just been released, where a new person is introduced called Batwoman and investigates his disappearance. How cool is that? The movie out is Hush, where a bad girl comes in to control Superman. Who knows your secrets? And from here, it's only family. So I was trying to get more information about episodes 72 and 73, but it was very hard to get specific information. 73 was 13 days ago. But then on May 29th, I got Last Night on Earth, the new 52 Batman. And then on June 13th, 19, was City of Bane. Now, at his lowest point, after she ran from the altar, she returns in number 75 to Batman looking everywhere for strength and couldn't find it, but instead finds her. Can they rebuild what they were to fight Bane? And can Batman ever be happy? And is that really of his strength or weakness? And noting also that he had recent nightmares, how much she lingered over his unconscious mind despite lack of recent interaction. She left seeing weakness in him. She was seeing his fears that he doesn't really love her. So another alternate dimension will be a series in 2020, a new series about Batman and Catwoman, but that goes into a new dimension because this movie, The City of Bane, is the final act, basically. But that's another final act of a 100-issue run. Can it work? And then more was coming up about the Viking princess and cats, but she is the fake one. So as we get back into the read here, and all this stuff like paralleling to the journey and the karmic versus the divine feminine. Getting back into the read, the bull exits left as the twins are out to talk. The high priestess with keys for reunion, but is she the Viking princess? Is she the fake one, the one with the cats? With Justice League, the high priestess with keys for reunion, with the Justice League, the judge, the justice or Libra, or healthy fairy princess, with a short dress in front and toes touching, 2 spoons of fruit and Excalibur wielded. Gifted an egg along with dessert, knee highs, high knee, high mar, high seas, or emotions. The reunion of many, many lifetimes. And then lifetime episodes were coming up here. Making him purr with her feet. But is the one with the keys actually the key tones to your heart health? Wouldn't fruit and truth be better than the one who's actually showing you car keys? As I turned the page, it was 12:20, 12 being the hangman of wisdom and the 20 of judgment, and 2020 coming up. The one trying to prove it by showing you car keys, or the one with lightness, health, and truth wielded? It should be obvious to the divine masculine who is the real twin. Making the right choice, feeling your intuition, leads to a happy ending, which was 93, which is the reflection of 39, or the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, happy ending. Then it was 12:21, as I wrote down, what makes you feel good every time, to the divine masculine. Love partner comes up as number 26, underneath that happy ending. 26, again, is that Page of Wands, the masked boy with the burning desire. And then I stopped and took a break at 12:21 to go outside to take another picture to see what was going on with the eclipse at 12:55. The Hermit out without their light. And the King of Pentacles, because we have the eclipse today, right, without the light. So the Hermit's light has been eclipsed by the sun, by the moon. And the King of Pentacles reversed, looking to what the King of Cups reversed is doing. The King of Cups reversed, him with a drunk smile on his face, a drunk stupor perhaps. The Hermit and the King of Pentacles reversed are coming up as possible alter egos. The wise loner or professional man versus the greedy businessman. The Page of Swords looks guilty, caught just before lighting the torch by the King of Cups reversed, drunk or very manipulative man with poor Saturn placement, with red rubies, rupees, or rubles associated with him. Attack on the Page of Swords character, 3 orange to red feathers in his cap, with royal lineage, a proper boy. Teal lighting can quickly turn to gangrene, or ganglions, gangs and lions, the beasts. Burgundy tights, dancing queen, or likes to do reenactments, Shakespeare perhaps, Chariots of Fire, or Civil War reenactments, Valley Forge. Someone hanging out at the barber shop drunk, or manipulating candy canes. Barber Lights, or Barbary Coast came up, as well as the Arabian Peninsula. And someone may have received an insult from Pen insult, or a rejection or submission by elite establishment rejected, feeling laughed at by them, feeling like a little kid again. Insignificant, what do they know anyway? Candy stripers with surgical blade grade on hospital floors, teal and gangrene, hospital green, scrubs. Someone may start their residency and be put in their place right away, especially if they have a big ego, or a bad man trying to light a torch with a youngster, or manipulative patients you have to deal with. Okay, so there's lots of different things coming up within a hospital environment, like the candy stripers who have to go to everyone's rooms, and how some patients may be very abusive to them as young girls. So the Page of Swords coming up here, as can be the divine masculine, and him feeling like a little kid, with the Hermit losing their light, and the King of Pentacles is reverse. which is like a greedy businessman, or at least someone who's very ungrounded, right? So if it is someone who's like starting a residency, that could be their boss, right? They're not taking any crap from them and making them feel like a little kid, like putting them in their place, taking their royal lineage away from them. But all of these dynamics were coming up here. Then at 12:39, as I started in again, one of the birds outside that sounds like they're whistling at people, you know, woo, woo, right? Started whistling then at 12:39, and there's the Knight of Cups. The King of Cups reversed can also just be someone lacking faith or sad or crying, but he's got kind of a smirk on his face, so it might be a happy cry, even though he's kind of turned upside down. Feeling emotional or crying with a smile on his face, grounding and integrating a heavy load of justice system, justice, judge, Libra, and Aries in a happy ending. And then 93 comes up with that, which reflects the 39 I just brought up. Virgo upright, Aries reversed, Scorpio reversed, Leo upright, and Pisces upright and reversed, Libra upright, Aquarius upright, Sagittarius upright. We're all involved here. So obviously the King of Cups reversed could also be someone who's been drinking. Recently, the World, Ascension, purging the King of Pentacles reversed, which came up several times in this read, Devil or Capricorn, at work finding peace with the Page of Cups child, resting, meditating, or recovering from being dumped, or dumped old man, King of Pentacles reversed. Or found peace in a new love in the 5D, as the King of Pentacles is overwhelmed and ungrounded as they are ascending. Pisces upright and Capricorn reversed came up there. As I turned the page, it was 12:47. And 47 is the 7 of Cups with the 12 of the Hangman, and being wise, the 47 is heaven in their eyes. Also the synchronicities and options and choices. The Ace of Cups as the foundation, the Ace of Cups, dreams of healing and offer of love refused. The grounding and integrating of the wounded warrior, the three-legged race, to take the lead and back up the angels. Patience, given a little push, a nudge, maybe wanting to help them along a bit. Getting attention for patience, but dumped or overwhelmed in love, a higher love. So Aquarius upright and Sagittarius upright came up in there. And before I go on, I'm going to show you the spread, and also I'm going to tell you the court cards that happened today. The Emperor was reversed today, and the Empress was upright, but there's also a second energy of an Empress in the Tarot of Sexual Magic that is definitely not the same person. And that wasn't, she may be upright, but she's not positive energy. Okay, so there's two there. All the kings were reversed, okay? So all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. All the men were reversed. The queens were half and half. The Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords were reversed, which is interesting because they are, you know, the Wands and Swords with the Knights often are about people out on the town, you know, kids going out drinking and all that kind of stuff. So the Queen of Wands and Swords were reversed, but the Queen of Cups and Pentacles were upright. All of the Knights were reversed. The pages were all upright except for the Page of Wands, who was reversed. So the little kids are good today except for that Page of Wands. The Knights, the older kids in 20s, are all reversed along with all the men. So watch out for the masculines today. And the Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups were upright. So there you have it. Let me take you around the table, and then we'll get into the rest of the read. All right, so we have the underlying energy here with the Starseed card, which is like the Fool, okay, taking that leap of faith. The recent past is the Ascension card with the clarifiers on top. As we go to the foundation of the read, which is the Ace of Cups buried there, those three cards out were beneath the 8 of Cups there. It's just you couldn't see the Ace of Cups then, so I moved them out of the way. So these were really before that 8 of Cups sticking out from the Queen of Wands. Okay. The center of the read is the King of Wands Shaman, which you see in that little hole in the middle, right? His head is covered except for his lower lip. So may be having trouble getting the words out or being seen, right? Might still be hiding, with the challenge being the 3 of Flames over there. And then as we go up here to the clarifiers, up here, at the bottom of the deck, the underlying energies. And then in his head is that Nine of Pentacles, which definitely can be a sovereign, it can be a karmic, it can be a teen as well, or someone in their 20s. So somebody's kid, okay? So we have all these cards going across, bridging to the near future here, which is buried also. It's the Emperor, and you can barely see his little head peeping through. He looks like Santa Claus, doesn't he? Through one of those Christmas windows. Okay, and he's called Reason in this deck. A masculine seeing himself as his higher self, which is amazing with the Romance Angel cards here, Romance Angels. And then we have what's around the masculine, how he's seen is the Lovers, with the sealed Divine Feminine on top of them. But he's still exhausted. Or if that's the King of Wands, is the masculine exhausted, but that can also be someone who's around him. But that parallels with the center of the read because the King of Wands shaman is there. The blocks he needs to clear is the two flames there, like the Two of Wands. And then we come to the end with the numerology cards, as well as the Seven of Orbs is like the Seven of Swords with the Truth above it. And then the Four of Cups above that, which is like wishing upon a star. And then the King of Cups, okay? Again, the Eyes of Laura Mars. As we get to the clarifiers, the Chariot tops there in his power. And then we have the side note here where the Empress tops her power there. So it's like at the end there where the masculine and feminine both come into their power, okay? And there's definitely some energy there, which we'll get into as I get into this more. All right, let me show you more of the cards. Okay. Okay. So centrally with that King of Wands shaman, the King of Wands shaman, or 70s guy I was getting, strategizing how to not work and to be still, with the Queen of Swords not talking or trying to push him along with her words, killing him softly with her song, creating stubborn bull stance in him, not getting along at work, Capricorn leaving or third party through work dealings. And then at 12:55 to 56 here, I ran outside again to take some more pics, because that's right when the eclipse happened and I showed you those pics. The sequence was definitely about breaking free. Looked like eclipse, and then color broke away from it, which is paralleling with not seeing color at the Olympics. At 1 o'clock, the man of passion comes up reversed. Been exhausted all week, possibly due to a very short leash. All business with karmic, challenged by an open heart at present, of sovereign not expressing their feelings, with the Page of Cups twin, the Queen of Swords reversed, recovering from the sun or too much exposure, or not enough sleep up at night, in the dark, rising above, recovering from abandonment and refusing to move. The Queen of Swords reversed could be Leo and or ego, Viking princess stressed and purging, and will continue to do so, Her Royal Highness. Child with kids, or divine feminine is open and stable on her own, not working or being still in her knowing, despite purging, no offer of love at the moment. So now for the masculine and crowning is that sovereign, magnetizing coin, or playing hardball to make a clean getaway with the money, and or pending new life, dumping love, ghosting, King of Swords wanting the Holy Grail instead, Leo dropping the act, tripping up, breaking patterns of unrequited love. Someone lives on their own or gets kicked out, or someone leaves on their own or gets kicked out after awakening to exposed energy stealing or energy harvesting and caught with their pants down in 5D, or confessed about ending things, or about another world. Leo upright, Pisces reversed, Aries reversed, Virgo reversed, Capricorn reversed, Sagittarius upright, Scorpio upright, and Taurus upright came up here. The Emperor reversed, out of control, may be kicked out for losing his mind. The Hermit missing their flame, with the Devil and Angel on each shoulder, the Devil detoxing and Angel upright, higher love. Hermit is uninspired, frustrated, over-isolating, or now coming out. No longer hung up, but suddenly awakened to Angel that's stressed, tired, and purging. Evil Empress packing or a sudden hit and run, dumping everything and running down everything in her war path, but is coming up under divine timing. Soon for the masculine, the Emperor is reversed. Reasoning is now out the window with Santa Claus and Christmas in July. Frustration causing separation from self, tripping and falling, or just losing faith, feels like he's going insane. As I turn the page, it's 120. 1 is the Magician, and 20 is that Judgment. The truth is out, finding peace with extended family or family legacy. The King of Pentacles, who's come up reversed all throughout the read, is coming up as Scrooge with a poker face. Finds happiness sitting still in resting heart rate position with the moderate savings that he has. So this is him changing. And Aries reverse was coming up there. He is his higher self, staying quiet, intuitive, and calm in the face of sudden events and eclipses. Pain, betrayal, and back pain all along the spine. Justice, divorce, or Libra finds their balance, ending the war of self. Laying down of swords, hands down, like at the blackjack table. Scorpio upright, Pisces upright, and Libra upright all came up in this section. No more under the table stuff. Connection makes him happy, suddenly, or with epiphany of post-war trauma, clearly living in the past, and clear about going back to get the girl. Let friends help you, release your ex, new love, honeymoon, and attraction all came up for the Divine Masculine here. Around him, or how he is seen, is the Lovers, the sealed Divine Feminine marching to her own tune, healing and grounding and saving for the Queen of Wands reversed to fall out of the sky after a long time of no affection, 3 to 4 weeks, months, or years holding on, 13 to 14, or even 30 to 49 years for some. Gemini reversed and Pisces upright came up here. Past reunions have gotten between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. No date, no option, due to gun in the house, used as a threat of war if the Divine Masculine leaves. Or Viking princess, voodoo princess, bribery tactics, holding back toys, withholding sex, and threatening to disclose secrets, or just make up lies and spread gossip, ruin his reputation. Then we'll see who comes to you. The Divine Masculine needs to clear blocks of the twin flame not being an option, as Gemini reversed and Capricorn reversed came up here. The masculine thinking you're only in best, that they're not available, but it's your only and best option, your perfect complement gifted to you by Source, God, Creator, Love, the collective consciousness. That your twin is no longer an option, no affection, love lost due to third parties, overindulgences, slander, gossip, antisocial behavior. Masculine, clear blocks about the devil and detox. We all have light and shade. Love all parts of yourself. Synchronicities and twin are a very high love, clearly not the dark or the devil. Detoxing synchronicities or options is not working, and feeling like you're trapped or a prisoner. No one can hold you prisoner but yourself, i.e., your twin through this divinely timed awakening when you met. Change comes up for the masculine, but even more so financial discipline, as Taurus upright, Virgo upright, Gemini upright and reversed, Aries reversed, Cancer upright, Libra upright all come up here. Expand your repertoire, or your repertoire, King of Swords reversed, who could actually be Gemini or Aries reversed. That was specifically coming up, but it doesn't have to be only them. The King of Swords' interests may have suddenly changed in taking a risk to lay down the law. Downloads may be arousing him. Leo threatening a Lorena Bobbitt move, and that was 1993. She was from Ecuador, which came up, and because that's so close with equator, right? Being in moderation, right around the line of moderation, the middle point. And here we are from Elena Bobbitt, and that happening 26 years later, and 26 again is that Page of Wands. Talked about it online at 21 years afterwards when she was 44. That was April 29th, 2014 from dailymail.co.uk. Drawing the line, letting go to move on in a beautiful balloon. Okay, so again, the equator, drawing the line, southern and northern hemispheres, but just, you know, the middle point, the 0 point, the moderation, staying in the middle, monkey in the middle, has been coming up all week. And now let's go to move on to that beautiful balloon at 155, 1 being the magician and 55 is the truth being out. As I turn the page at 156, we're in our knowing as the magicians and embodiment. The Empress, King of Cups reversed Leo, Cancer and King of Wands reversed, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces, Libra with negative message or news or scandalous talk about a marriage, Taurus, or establishment or commitment of the King of Cups reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, 3 generations of abuse. King of Cups reversed can be a female empress who could be an alcoholic or abundant male alcoholic and or master manipulator, or King of Wands reversed as well. Could be the King of Cups reversed, could be one and the same, or they could be 2 separate people. Spying, stalking, or son of evil empress, overwhelmed with negative self-talk about self, Taurus, child abuse, priest, or other kind of religious leader, or leader of some sort who abused children. Ending internal war as well as without, getting to the bottom of why no arousal except when at war or manipulating energy or other people. Destined to happen, divine timing in the truth coming out, could be that father or uncle abused or turned the other way when religious or other leader abused him. Their God at the time could even still be Taurus little boy of selfish mother and father with issues of sex, alcohol, or traveled for a living so they were never home. Sudden realization, he married his abusive or neglective mother or became his father. No wonder I'm like this. So now he's got the truth. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. The war is over. The truth is out. Grounding and integrating the King of Cups reversed. An opportunity to walk away at the eclipse. New moon without option, but to make magic with DNA strand. And moving, traveling, or getting on path boldly. Over the loss of the Queen of Wands, King of Swords, both reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles upright, which could be the 3-way situation, or a group that he's in. The Queen of Wands reversed, stressing and purging, the Queen of Cups holding their tongue or saying abusive things to the Queen of Pentacles with their back turned. The High Priestess in a fight with the Empress, or secret fight or competition between the Viking karmic princess and the mother-in-law or divine masculine's mother. The Chariot ends up on top of the read, as well as the Empress on top of the off-topic side note. And also as a side note, there's a lot of women in the mix there. Cancer and Taurus, or warrior versus a Hierophant, priest, or mother, empress, or pregnant woman, karmic, or Virgo Cancer, or Gemini Cancer versus Taurus Pisces person. And these could literally be the masculine and feminine coming into their power separately in order to come together as the Chariot and the Empress. And remember, we started out this talk with the Emperor and the Empress. 3 + 4 = 7, the Chariot, when they come together. Clinging to debt and or kids or imbalances, dumped, overwhelmed, or with alcohol issues, higher self without lover's affection, and tired of connecting only in 5D, the King of Wands reversed, challenged by being present with heart opening and out of control, ego death without option. The twin is the only option. Sovereign dumped, taking off for new life, ending the war, stuffing downloads in their groin and can't take it anymore. The truth is out, grounding and integrating sadness. And truth is out, grounding and integrating sadness as well as drunk and manipulative people. Lacking faith in the world, in ascension, in the sealed divine feminine. Some may have fell off the wagon, got drunk, or dumped love too tired at present to pursue sovereign. His higher self is good, without ego, but no affection from the twin flame, and that's got to change. As I turn the page, it's 2:30, which is the High Priestess and the Four of Wands coming into union, laying down swords with truth, grounding and integrating, and sad blue eyes, magician and warrior come together. Okay, so it can definitely be a different combination of the cards, but they're all some major arcana. The magician was upright, the warrior was upright, the empress was upright, and the high priestess was up there with the empress upright. So they all could be representatives of how the masculine and the feminine come into their power in full and then come together. Triple goddess also came up, and I was looking up a little bit about that, but didn't really get much about it. But the central energy from this read was all about that King of Wands reversed, right? The shaman reversed, or the man of passion, but reversed because he's been really exhausted, not just this week, but for a while now. So if that's the masculine, but it can be someone outside of himself as well. There could be two King of Wands, right? Because there's more than one fire sign in this world, right? So the challenge being the present moment, the gift, the heart expansion that the masculine's been given. So that may be a struggle for him, because you all know as divine feminines what you went through when your heart was expanding and still is. Okay, so that's all the information, and it was just 10128. So 0101 of the two magician embodiments and the 28 of the twin flames. So I'm going to pull you a final card too, because I know you want to know about the Olympics as well, some confirmation there. So let's see what comes up here. I'm going to go again with the standard rider weight, because that's been giving me some good confirmations here. Okay, so take a deep breath, you guys. So we'll ask for confirmation about all twins in union by the Summer Olympics next year in Tokyo. And see what the cards come up with. Clear and aligned, filled with only beautiful organic love and diamond light. Drop these armors all with your love. All right, let's see what comes up here. Take another deep breath. Okay, so last message for everyone. I'm sure they want some confirmation about all twins coming into union by next summer for the Olympics. The first card out was the cards were just sticking together, but Two of Wands was reversed. And for me, that means no options. Like there's no choice. Like this would be a choice of two paths. But here for me is no options. There's only one option. And here the second card out is the Ace of Coins, or Ace of Pentacles reversed, and for me this is pending a new life, magnetizing coin or money, or the gold coin, the Christ consciousness. And then we have the Moon reverse, which normally might be deception, but not today. On an eclipse new moon, it's very much about the eclipse of the heart. And then we have the Two of Swords, which is reversed, which is very much about gaining clarity, getting all the information you need so that you can go on to decide whether you're going to allow yourself to feel pain or not. And then we have the Star and the Tower reversed. And that's about all your dreams coming true in the aftermath of everything falling apart. Then we have the Page of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So in some negative self-talk, that can just be negative self-talk, and this is like the divine feminine offering love to the masculine who's still in his negative self-talk or spying or just immaturely communicating, but no matter what, that love always being offered. The cards are just really sticking here. And then these three are coming up together as the Death card reversed, which can be feeling like dying, right? In the Emperor's ego death, can be feeling like you want to die, but it also can be clinging to not allowing the change to happen, as the Emperor's upright here and the High Priestess is reversed. Okay, so be careful about falling into your old ways is what this is saying, right? Because going back into control issues and not using your intuition, this can also mean clinging to the old ways of having control of your life when the secret comes out about the Divine Feminine. And then the final card pulled here, just from this read, is the Wheel of Fortune. It's all in divine timing. And this is number 10. So let's see what we got here. The bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups reversed. Actually, here, I'm going to pull a couple down. So these 4 cards were at the bottom of the deck in the underlying energy. So we actually had the Page of Pentacles upright. We have the Queen of Swords upright, which can be very much about the feminine speaking her truth. And then we have someone defenseless to the energies or no longer caring what other people think, with the Queen of Cups reversed, okay? That can be someone who's trying to be manipulative, but feeling defenseless to the energies of what the Queen of Swords is saying. Like she's getting knocked over by it. So she could be emotional and crying as well. Or the Queen of Cups could also feel bad about what the Queen of Swords is talking about. They may have been involved in causing the pain to the Divine Feminine. So that could be coming out as well. But that's all the underlying energy, and the Devil reverse was just before that. So it's definitely detox coming out. And before detox has to come chaos, right? Because this Devil energy has to peak before it falls over into detox, okay? So this has come some of the falling out energy from that detoxing, and then going into these cards that came out. There's no option but divine timing in schooling the goose. And by the way, that first card out not only was the Two of Wands, but it's the 2 of today's 2. Let's see. I'm going to shuffle one more time and ask again. Will all twins be in union by the end of August next year, by that Olympics? Is that truly when all twins will be in union? Will all twins be in union by the end of August next year? Can we be clear? Oh, that's kind of a nice answer. We have the Emperor and the 8. Okay. The Emperor is, control, power. And it's basically, if anyone's going to be the Emperor, it's God, right? Because he's in complete control of everything. And here is the 8 of Wands, right? It's about expressing feelings back and forth, the arrows of love, passionate energies, the energies of the Olympics. And there we have number 8, which is August, which I asked about. Okay, so it could literally be finishing things up between April and August of next year. And then these 3 are the next cards coming out. We have the 4 of Cups with the 4 of Swords and then the Justice card. So here we again have 8. 4 and 4 is 8. Very interesting. So here we have 44 and the Justice card of 11. Just give me 1 second to put these down so I can feel into them more. And the last card in this bunch is coming out is Judgment, all right, 2020. How perfect is that? Look at that. That's the 2020 Olympics, the announcements. And the bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands, again. What was underneath that? Let's see, what was underneath is the 8 of Swords, All right, so there's definitely some ill energies. We have the Leo card and then a fight that was ended. And then these 5 cards are at the bottom of the deck, all right? So someone definitely stealing away or actually stealing, lying, cheating, rejection, or this could be a spoiled brat as well. It could just be someone who's very shy, all right? And then the wheel being slowed down by all this crap going on and feeling imprisoned in your head again, or literally someone in prison. And then we have the Page of Wands, waiting to be inspired. That was just the underlying energy of what those other 5 cards that just came out. Oh, very interesting too. I didn't even notice that, you guys. Look how the cards came out, right? They came out 3 and 2. The Olympics. How cool is that? And then the final card tops off the pyramid of the monad, because there's 6 cards there of love. Pretty cool. I'm getting literally with the Emperor sitting there with the Justice below. It's definitely about, you know, God's final judgment in coming together, of coming from the 5D after mastering, grounding, and integrating the love that had been rejected. And then the final judgment as everyone is awakened. And this is definitely like the announcement of the Olympics. I love this, okay? It's the Red Cross, right? Coming to save everyone. All right, guys. Make sure to drink your water, get your rest, and have some fun. Be careful about the heat. Make sure you drink extra water if you've been out and sweating a lot. And rise and be loved, guys. It's going to be an exciting year. Bye.